fishing fanatics. It's Ray. Yeah, I haven't been doing that much fishing. My car's in for repairs, so yeah. But in the meanwhile, I'm getting prepared for the next season, the upcoming season, and I believe it's gonna be a good one. The Bergriver is still full of fresh water that's coming down from Cape Town side. It's washing out into the mouth area. You can actually see it if you're standing on Dwash Cashboards. You can see the brown water when it's pushing out of the mouth area. But soon the water will be clear again, and then the steenbras will be coming into the river system. Probably still a bit of them around, but yeah, they prefer the cleaner salt water. But in the meanwhile, or the meantime, I'm cleaning up lures, preparing for the next season, because you guys all know that I specialize in light tackle, and this year I want to focus a bit more on the artificial side of the fishing, especially when the leeries are here and the alpha are here. So I'm going to take you step by step, because obviously everything corrodes here in the West Coast, like your hooks, split rings, just everything just corrodes here. So cleaning it up is very important, otherwise you have to purchase hooks, new hooks every time, and I found a way that I can actually clean the hooks and get some of the corrosion off the split rings and hooks, and I'll be showing you how to do that today. Even it also works for your guides on your spinning rods. Yeah, so stay tuned. Cheers. Hey, fishy, 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 where are you, fishy, fishy, fishy? There you guys are. Anyway, let's get back to the thing. Okay, we'll get to this now. These are all my essential lures that I favor out of all my other lures that I've got in my boxes. But anyway, let's get to the point of the whole video. I use white spirit vinegar. You don't necessarily have to buy such a big bottle, and then I just throw it into like a little tub, and then I let the hook sit there for a while. You know, you can actually sometimes see the corrosion around the ring of the hook. And then what I do is I take them out, then I use an old toothbrush like this. It could be a medium one, preferably a hard one, and like a little brush like this. Then I clean them all. It actually makes a huge difference. They look a lot better because you get like a corrosion that sits on there. Sometimes you have to scratch it off, so you can use a very fine sandpaper as well. But I prefer to use the brushes, because sandpaper also causes the corrosion, you know, because you're sanding off some of the layers of the hooks. Also, the same thing I do with the split rings as well. Let me take this away. The split rings are also, they're very fine, you know, depending on the sizes. Most of them are stainless steel, but you'll see that there's sometimes, you know, you get them in between the split ring, and I brush that out. Your essentials are very important, like my clips and stuff like that. I normally clean it with fresh water, and if there's a bit of corrosion on it, I'll put it in the vinegar. And yeah, like these over here, these are all hooks that I cleaned up. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it normally starts there by the split ring, in this area over here, around there, and the split rings. I just brush it as hard as I can. Obviously these are all replaced now, old hooks, and yeah, and then we'll be going through all the essential lures that I use specifically for the Bergriver, like plugs and spoons, stick baits. These are all my stick baits, clone lures, shiver sticks in different sizes. I tend to go for a natural color. These are all my, well, some of my surface lures. Rapala, Skitavi, and spoons even. I caught a lot of leeries on the spoons, on the clone spoons, clone lure spoons. I just replaced them with a 1/0 hook, especially the smaller spoons. The big one, this one is amazing. It's a stunner. It really gets the fish's attention, the way it moves and everything like that. Leeries and elf. So yeah, also this year I want to focus actually on doing some drop shot fishing with different styles. You can use paddle tails or your minnows. So yeah, and I'll show you what my setups are gonna be like. I'm actually doing this everything I'm doing in the house because it's cold outside, man. It's cold. I can't wait for the winter to just pass now. Okay, lure talk. Let's see. Bucktails. Let's get to bucktails. Bucktails work very nicely. If you're standing on an eye area and there's a drop off, you try and cast it as far as possible, and then you can work with your retrieves. You can play around with it. I noticed that the leeries, they like a fast action sometimes. Also, when the water is nice and hot, it's like their feeding habits are, it's difficult to explain. It's like they're more active then. So I like jerking them very hard, with a quick action, up and down action. Well, it works for me. And also the colors, you can play around with the colors. I like green and silver. Yeah, preferably the green ones and the silver. Also depends on the area and the water clarity as well. So you can play around with the bucktails, surface lures. Oh, I just love seeing a fish smash a surface lure. You get lots of different styles of surface lure, different brands. These are only some of them. These are the zombie, the Z killers. I know the guys catch grunter on them as well. Even with the Rapala Skitavis, these are storm lures. These are the storm, the Z stick or the zig stick. And this is 115 centimeter. The elf absolutely love this one, the invisible one. It's probably because it shines a lot. But I've caught a few leeries on them as well. But seeing them smash the surface lure, it's always such a beautiful thing. It's amazing, and you just want more and more of that action. With stick baits, obviously you have to work the stick baits. The smaller leeries like the small stick baits. They even go for bigger ones as well. But you have to work the tip. Your tip action makes a huge difference in how the bait swims in the water. And also you try and chuck them in as far as you can. Also play around with your retrieves. I like doing a quick retrieve, especially with the stick baits, with a nice jerking action. I'm going to do a video on that as soon as the leeries and the elf are here. These, you don't have to do anything. They are swim baits. You can sometimes jerk it a bit, just stop, pause and jerk. And yeah, this basically like a stick bait, but this one floats. It's just the Salma lures. I don't think you get them anymore. This is the slider, the 10 centimeter. Then I've got the smaller one, the 5 centimeter as well, if there are smaller predatory fish around. And then spoons, obviously you don't have to use any action. You can just play around with the retrieves. With this particular spoon from Clone Lures, I like doing a very quick retrieve. Yeah, always keep your rod tip down, preferably because it tends to go out of the water, especially when you're winding in faster. Then you get your jigs. Your jigs are very simple. They throw a mile and you just retrieve them. Same with the smaller spoons, you just retrieve. They do their own work. They also work well. Very quick retrieve on these. Like I said, you can play around with the retrieves. Also, even though you see the fish chase, and sometimes they don't take the bait, so play around with your retrieves. But it's awesome seeing that wake after your lure. I love seeing that. So yeah, that's my essential baits I like using, my preferred baits. Colors, like I said, I like it natural. Try to match the hatch. If you see smaller bait fish jumping around, use smaller baits, stick baits or floating lures. Yeah, so play around with your artificial lures. Um, it's rewarding if a fish takes your lure. It's an absolute wonderful feeling. But yeah, next on we're gonna move on to the reels I use. My rods are still packed away, well, my spinning rods, and then I'll be showing you, yeah, what I'm using and what braid I'm using, and yeah, stay tuned, people. Hey guys, okay, so I like being prepared. I am always prepared before I hit the water, especially when I'm taking out clients. And you want to make sure that your line is good, still good. Your leaders. I like to swap around my braid from reel to reel. Um, but yeah, I know braid can be very expensive, so but luckily it lasts a very long time. And keeping your reels in a good working condition, optimal performance you want out of them, especially when you're looking into a big fish like a big ray or a garrick or even a big elf cob, you know. So that's very important. So I service my reels regularly, oil the necessary parts that moves, and yeah. So we're gonna take a look at what I use for my spinning setups and what I use for bait fishing as well. Okay, let's go into the spinning reels that I use and the braid I've got loaded on them. Like for instance, this one, the Seymour, Akuma Seymour C30. This one is loaded with 10-pound braid only. This I use, or I pair it with the 6-foot rod. Yes, I've had this for a couple of years now, and it's it's a true workhorse reel. Super strong for a small reel. You know, it's very small. You know, for a size 30 reel, you can see there it performs very nicely. It's very smooth. And then if you're moving on, if you're looking at a budget reel, a really good budget reel, you know, for the kids or for yourself even, the Azaki range. This is a Azaki 40. It's loaded with 15-pound braid. That's a really good budget reel, good value for money, and that's like if you're starting now, you know, even if you're using it for bait fishing, spinning, it's an absolutely stunning reel for the price point. Unfortunately, Kuma has discontinued the Jaws series. I absolutely love this reel. The cosmetics are quite cool with the orange and the black. It's like a matte black with a shine on it, you know, with a glitter. But this one I've got loaded on with 20-pound braid. Also a size 40 reel. Both these reels they've got an 8 kg drag system, so you can handle a big fish with them. Let's move on to the other reels. These two are the Pixar, also size 40 reels. This one in particular with the green braid I use for my live bait fishing with a 7-foot heavy action rod. Yeah, it's got a absolutely smooth drag system. Also 10 kgs on the drag on both of these reels. And then the braid I've got on there, that's the Power Plus from Boss. That's a 20-pound braid. So I use this mainly for sight fishing. If I see a fish smash, bait fish, I'll chuck in a live bait. And then the others I purely use for spinning purposes with artificial lures. I like using the orange braid. It's the Boss Whisper braid. I've been using it for years now, and I put a little bit of a top shot on there, you know, the green. But this is my ITX. This I use for my plugs, stick baits, big spoons, also on a 7-foot rod, a medium to heavy action. Also same with this one, also medium to heavy action rod. And then I've got the Inspira. All of these are Akuma brand. The new Inspira, this is the 4000 series. It's got an 11 kg drag system. You can also get them in a 5000 series. Same setup with the braid. It's absolutely smooth, that reel. Well, all of the reels are actually very smooth because I maintain them. And like, put oil, you know, in your if you frequently use your reels like I do, you know, I take out clients, I oil all the necessary parts, like here by the bail on the inside there. You don't have to use a lot of oil. And then also on your bearings, you know, if you take apart your handle, you've got bearings sitting there on the inside, oil that a bit. Your roller bearings are very important. They have to be oiled regularly, especially if you fish like I do. Saltwater conditions. I'm not fishing in fresh water, so I must say all of these reels, they look like brand new because I look after them. You know, it's some of them I've been using like for 5 years. You know, and look at that thing. That one I've had now for 4 years. And let's move on to the other setups I use. These, I call them the twins. Same rods, same reels. This is the Akuma, the all new Akuma Seymour, the HG range. That's got a high density gearing, which is absolutely awesome because you need that for extra power. And then this I've got paired with 4-strand Boss braid, the Power Plus braid, and that's 30 pound I've got on there. And they are paired with the amazing and super affordable the Sensation Power Plus rods. These are 8-foot rods and heavy action. I've caught just whatever I caught on this. I've caught Steenbras. The guys, I've caught big sandies with them, Learys, and also with this setup we caught a few big stingrays, blue rays, that we caught out of the river system this year and last year. So I'm very chuffed with that. If you're moving on to a bit bigger size reels, these both are size 55s, the Azores. I absolutely love them. They're very solid reels and they're so easy to maintain. And this one's got the 30 pound Boss braid on there. That's got a 40 pound that I'm pairing up with a 10-foot rod. I normally use that for scratching and also big baits. I think the rod's tip is rated 3 ounce sinker, so I normally use that for the surf zone area, which you can target basically anything, like rays, sand sharks, cob if there's a cob. You know, I normally take that if you go to Mossel Bay, or if I go on a trip to Mossel Bay or the East Coast, I'll take that with me. And then this one I've got paired with the 9-foot heavy action rod, and that's purely for scratching. Or I like using it in the river for garrig with a live bait, a big live bait, and for targeting steenbras in the river. And that's basically it, guys. You don't necessarily need the most expensive equipment, but if you guys are planning to coming this side or going anywhere basically for a fishing mission, or if you guys are willing to join me on a mission in a guided trip here in the West Coast, you're more than welcome to use my equipment. I'm always ready like this. I've always got paired or got rigs on here, tray setups that's going all the way. This I'm going to use now for steenbras, and that on top there I'm using it currently now to target the surf zone species like the galjoen, the winter fish. And hopefully this can give you guys an idea what you need if you're wanting to buy equipment or want to go fishing. But like I said, if you guys want to join me, you're more than welcome to use mine. My spinning rods are currently packed away, so I'm waiting for the season to start. I want to say thank you guys for watching, taking the time, and you know what to do. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try and put more videos on weekly. Obviously it takes time, but I'm gonna make an effort, doing this for you guys. So please subscribe and click the notification bell and like my videos. Cheers, guys.